Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite girl names. I've never made a top 10 video before, mainly because I'd never written out my favorite names and actually ranked them in any sort of particular order. A lot of these names are going to be names that I may have mentioned either in passing or in great detail before, so if you don't like that, maybe you go watch another one of my videos. Yeah, so thank you all for watching and commenting and liking and subscribing, and if you want to leave your top 10 favorite girl names down below, or maybe your favorites from my list or something. I love reading your comments, even if I don't get the chance to respond to them. I do read every single one of them. So, number 10 on my list is Clementine. Clementine is the French feminine variation of Clement, which means mild or merciful. I love that meaning. I think it's such a sweet, sweet name. I also really love clementines, like the fruit. They are so delicious. And when I was little, I had a complete obsession with naming people, like humans, food names. Like, I really liked the name Cinnamon. I really liked the name Clementine. I also really loved the book series Clementine. There were a couple books about like a spunky little girl named Clementine, and I just loved them so much. And Clementine is actually a lot more popular than I thought it was. It ranked at number 819 in 2015 in the US. I think it might even be more popular in the UK. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's quite a popular name. I love it so much. So, number 9 on my list is Edith. Edith is an English name meaning prosperous in war. It ranked at number 526 in 2015. This is such a sweet vintage name. I love it so much. I love the nickname Edie. I love it so much. I've been crushing on it for about 6 months now, and I really adore it so much. And I love names that end with that like ith sound. Lilith, Edith, Elspeth. I love them so much. They are so cute. The next name I have to share with you is one that I have mentioned before, and that is Beatrix. Beatrix is a Latin name meaning she who brings happiness, and obviously that is a wonderful, beautiful meaning for a name. And it was given to 209 girls in 2015. It doesn't rank in the US top 1000. Beatrice does, however. When I was little, I loved the name Beatrice, and I just find Beatrix to be kind of a spunky take on it. I love the nickname Trixie for a little girl because I loved the Trixie Belden series when I was little, and I just think it's such a spunky little name with a beautiful meaning and tons of great nickname options, and that's why it is on my top 10 list. At number 7 on my top 10 is Lorelei. Lorelei is a German name meaning luring rock, and it ranked at number 448 in 2015. Another spelling of Lorelei, I believe the spelling that's used in Gilmore Girls, also ranks in the top 1000, so it is actually quite a popular name. I love this name not because of the TV shows, although I do love Gilmore Girls. I'm not that fond of either of the Lorelei characters on Gilmore Girls, but I love this name because it sounds so unusual and so beautiful and so quirky and so whimsical. And yeah, I love the name Laura too, so it's just a combination of a lot of great elements for me. At number 6 on my list is Coraline. Coraline is an elaboration of Cora. Some people say it's comes from the word coral. Like, people are not exactly certain where it comes from. Other people also think that it's diminutive of Coralie, which is a French name. I love it. I don't really care that it doesn't have a distinct meaning. I think it's really beautiful and kind of a unique take on Caroline, which is a very classy name in itself. So Coraline sat at number 576 in 2015. I love this name mainly because of its association with the Neil Gaiman novel Coraline. I loved the character Coraline. I loved the book. I loved the movie too. So it's just a really great association for me, and I find Coraline to be once again a very quirky, whimsical name, and I love the name Cora, so it would be great to be able to shorten that to Cora. And any name that ends in line is automatically on like my favorites list at some point because I love that ending. I find it to be so beautiful and elegant. At number 5 on my list is Josephine. Josephine is the French feminine variation of Joseph, which means Jehovah increases. It sat at number 131 in 2015, so it is quite popular. I've actually never met someone named Josephine though. Not sure why. Like I've heard of people named Josephine, like music artists and people on YouTube, etc., but I've never actually met anyone in person, which is interesting because it is quite a popular name. Anyway, yeah, it ranked at number 131. I love Josephine because of the association with Little Women. I just loved that book when I was little, and I loved Jo. I really personally related to Jo on a very deep level. I thought that we were very similar people when I was little, so I just love this name, and I love all the nickname options, and yeah, it's just a very classic name. At number 4 on my list is Imogen. Imogen is a Celtic name meaning maiden. It was given to 141 girls in the US in 2015, but it is very popular in the UK. I believe it might even be in their top 100. It is very popular, as I said. I love this name because it just has this beautiful sound to it. I love the way it rolls off your tongue. Imogen, Imogen. Like, it's so beautiful. And when I was little, I thought this name was pronounced Imogen, so I didn't really get the beauty of it. I didn't quite love it like I do now because I didn't understand how it was pronounced. But pronounced Imogen, it is absolutely gorgeous and so whimsical. I'm a sucker for whimsical names, basically. Yeah, so I love that name, and I love the nickname Immy. I think the nickname Immy is absolutely darling. So at number 3 on my list is Faye, and Faye is an English name meaning fairy. How much more whimsical can you get? Might as well call this list whimsical baby names, because that's what makes it to my top 10. Anyway, it's at number 928 in 2015. I believe this is the first time in a very long time that it has ever ranked in the top 1,000. Yeah, it is getting more popular. You can spell this a variety of ways, but I prefer it spelt like this, and this is also, I think, the most popular way that it's spelt. I love how simple this name is. It's simple, yet it's beautiful, and I just feel like it tells a story. Yeah, especially as of late, this is probably my favorite name as of late, but it hasn't been on my list very long, so that's why it's at number 3. At number 2 on my list is Adelaide, and I discovered this name when I was researching medieval baby names, and I have just fallen head over heels for it, and it has been at the top of my list for about 6 months now. Adelaide is a medieval English variation of Adelaide, which means of a noble kind, or noble, or nobility. You get the picture. It was given to less than 5 girls in 2015, so it is extraordinarily unique, which I love, of course. And yeah, it's just a very beautiful name. I love how it's on trend, but yet it's not trendy. It sounds like a modern name, but yet it reaches back for centuries and centuries and centuries. I really love it, and I love Elizabeth and Eliza and all diminutives of that, so this is the perfect way to kind of combine 2 of my favorite names, Adelaide and Eliza, in one name. And finally, at number 1 is Nimue. Nimue was the name of a female sorceress in Arthurian legend. This name is of an unknown meaning. Nobody really knows what it means. Some people think that it might come from the Greek word for memory, but really nobody knows. And this name itself was spelt and pronounced differently depending on who was recording the story, because when people recorded manuscripts in the Middle Ages, they would often either change the name to fit their own dialect or whatever, so it's kind of like nobody knows what it means. Nobody really knows where it came from. It might have been made up. It might have been a spelling error even. Nobody knows. It was given to only 6 girls in 2015, so it's very unique. I prefer it spelt with some sort of a something over the E to indicate that it isn't pronounced Nimue, because that's how I would pronounce it if it didn't have an accent aigu over the E. Yeah, but I absolutely adore this name. It's just so whimsical, and I love the way it sounds. I don't know if I'd actually name a baby this because it is difficult to pronounce, and even once you pronounce it to someone, sometimes they still have issues pronouncing it. And I love the nickname Nim. So just overall, this is my favorite name right now. Yeah, so that's all that I have to share with you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that the rest of your holidays go wonderfully, and that your new year is great and that everything works out for all of you guys. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.